What's happening, guys? James Blunt here with MMOHuts.com, and I don't know if you've noticed, but PAX East is getting really close. Well, it starts tomorrow, in fact, if you didn't know, March 6th through the 8th. And based off of all of those last-minute emails from game publishers wanting MMOHuts specifically to check out their games, it seems like we're going to have some really nice coverage for you guys right after the show. Sadly, I won't be there this time around, which I'm kind of okay with because it seems to be really freaking cold in Boston right about now. So we're going to have to wish Dizzy BW luck and not to freeze to death trying to get us coverage, but in the meantime, I wanted to share with you guys some of the game info we're looking forward to, what we're excited about at this year's show, and more. Starting out the first day of the show, Wargaming wants to show us a little bit more World of Warships, and we are perfectly okay with that. Typically, Wargaming has an awesome booth set up at the show floor, especially at E3 to be honest, but when it comes to World of Warships, they don't really mess around. Okay, so they don't literally bring in a battleship like they typically do with the tanks and planes sporting their other games, but the money that they would have spent doing just that, they'll probably end up putting into something else drawing attention to their games. Oh, and their parties. Yeah, they don't skimp out on those. Anyway, back to the original point. This time around, I think we're going to actually get a chance to get hands-on with the game and finally be able to record some gameplay footage. We're thinking that they're going to be showing us what's been going on in the limited alpha lately and, you know, maybe slightly expand on that. So look forward to that. Hopefully it'll be really exclusive. And you know what, honestly, now that I think about it, them bringing in a battleship isn't exactly out of the question. The Boston Convention Center is, in fact, right next to the harbor. Also on day one, Area Games wants to meet up to show us Echo of Soul, which should also yield some nice gameplay footage in the process, as well as dev interview possibilities. Recently, they revealed the 5 classes that'll be available in the game once it launches into closed beta, as well as shortly after that launching officially. You know, Area Games, they do that stuff really fast. So more than likely, Dizzy will get a chance to see some gameplay of the classes beyond just the Rogue, which we've already seen a preview for. Yeah, Echo of Soul. It's going to be good. Tryon Worlds will be hosting some demos at PAX East this year, offering the press a fantastic 4-way preview of what's new in Trove, Rift, ArcheAge, and Defiance. Each one apparently has some new content for us to see. The new creative lead designer on Defiance plans to reveal the game's new expeditions and cyber rigs that will be unveiled in the upcoming Alcatraz update. The game director and lead content designer for Rift is planning to give us some details about update 3.2, taking us through Hammerkneel Fortress, demo some of the game's instant adventures, and show us how to celebrate the game's 4-year anniversary. For ArcheAge, we'll get to take a look at the much-anticipated library instance from the upcoming Secrets of Ayanad update, which includes a brand new world boss, the Leviathan, and a naval arena, which seems badass. And finally, with Trove, we'll be seeing a preview of its development process and why it's important to have open development, plus a sneak peek at the game's big March update and new class, so stay tuned for that. So this time around, they actually seem to have a lot to show us, which is not usually the case. Enough so this time to have an epic party, and Tryon Worlds parties in style, according to some people that actually have been to their parties. And of course, seeing that we're getting closer and closer to the launch of the first expansion for Guild Wars 2, ArenaNet is back at PAX East from an awesome presentation at PAX South. This time, though, they plan to premiere the first playable demo of Heart of Thorns, featuring both a PvE demo that takes players on the first steps of the journey into the new Heart of Maguma jungle, and a PvP demo of the new Stronghold game mode. To hype things up even more, they plan to host the World Tournament Series Finals, which is the North American leg of Guild Wars 2 Global PvP Championships, and the finalists there get to take home a $50,000 grand prize, which is not bad. I'd also keep an eye out for a weekend sale promo going on. If it's anything like they had during the PAX South promo, you'll be able to pick up the game for about 75% off, which is totally worth it if you're looking to try the game out for the first time. And right now is just as good a time as any. Another big one that was at PAX South and back again for PAX East is Motiga with the Gigantic. Now, this one seems a little cloudy on what's going to be shown, and unfortunately I can't exactly talk about what's going on in the alpha publicly, but I can say that we're probably going to see the same setup as we did at PAX South, except this time have a couple of new features and different content to see in addition to what we've already learned about the game. So don't worry on this one. It's going to be good. I've also recently found out that Greybox is going to be there, and come to find out at PAX South, one of their games called Dreadnaught is going to be free to play, or at least that's the plan for now. Dreadnaught is kind of like an isolated frigate battle in Star Conflict. I guess that's a good way to put it. I got a chance to play it at PAX South, and it was actually a blast, to be honest. There are different classes of starships to choose from, and they each have unique abilities to choose from that separate them even further. It's a bit more fast-paced than some of the other games in its category, and a little less technical and more arcade-like, in my opinion. Either way, I told Dizzy BW to stop by and check it out to get us some legit gameplay footage, so definitely look forward to that one. Trust me, you're going to like it. It also seems like Above and Beyond Technologies is going to be there with the Repopulation and wants to meet up with Dizzy to discuss the most recent changes of the game in Update 15.1.1, which means changes to the combat and skill system, the resource system and harvesting, and a whole lot more. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what's new based on what they have to show us, but regardless, at this show, we're really trying to focus on getting gameplay, so when and where we can get it, we're definitely going to get it. And of course, you know Dizzy PW is going to stop by the high-res booth to see what's new in SMITE, as well as try to snag us some giveaways for that. I'm trying to see if we can do that with Heroes of the Storm, but getting keys for that are almost as hard as randomly finding keys for a new unclaimed Mercedes. It's about that difficult. But at the show, SMITE's going to be showing off their Xbox One build and should be giving away early access keys to that. Hopefully we can snag some for you guys. More importantly, in my opinion, I'm hoping to get early details on Medusa, which is supposedly the new god in development, along with the newest rework of the Arena map, which should be exciting because I really like what they did with Conquest. Make them tell us, Dizzy. Make them give us all their secrets. Now, on a personal note, outside of the free-to-play realm, I'm really excited to see that Capcom is going to be there. They're going to have a booth, and I'm really hoping there's a release date announced for Street Fighter V. Just gonna hope on that. I love Street Fighter 4, and this game should totally blow it out of the water and top it, and I can't even imagine what that's like. Basically, it's a next-gen version of Street Fighter 4. Between it and Mortal Kombat X, or 10, however you want to refer to it as, it's gonna be an awesome year for fighting games. I'm also excited because Bethesda is supposed to be there showing off new gameplay for a DLC expansion for Wolfenstein New Order called Old Blood, which from the first trailer looks pretty legit and fun. Lots of Nazis. Especially since you get to, in fact, infiltrate Castle Wolfenstein. Who doesn't want to do that in a game?
How many goddamn Nazis are there in this world?
And seeing that Bethesda is going to be there, I can always hope for a more public reveal of the new Doom. That would be beyond perfect, and my life would feel a lot more complete. And on top of all that, we might get to catch up on the latest info on Battlecry, even though closed beta is still a ways off. Might have to wait until E3 on that one. Dizzy is also looking forward to meeting up with City State Games to hear the latest on Camelot Unchained, even though he probably knows more about that game than the actual creators. He is the wiki for that game. Unfortunately, he's not allowed to talk about the game much in its current state, but all I can say is I've never seen him more excited for a game this early on in development. He talks about it on a daily basis. Check out some of his articles about the game at MMOHuts.com. It's pretty nuts. His hype is real. And of course, you'll want to check out what Square Enix has to offer about the new expansion for Final Fantasy XIV called Heavensword, and pretty much anything else they want to throw at us. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That was just a little preview of what we have in store for coverage from PAX East this year. It looks like it's going to be a good convention this time around, although it is going to be a little bit weird that Riot Games isn't there. That might actually put a damper on the cosplay. Nah, probably not. And of course, we'll probably get to cover some other stuff just on the spot. Like, for example, Warframe is supposed to be there, but we haven't confirmed a meetup with them as of yet. So, who knows? This may only be the start of what we got in store. So, look forward to our coverage coming to you guys very soon. Let us know in the comments below what questions you might have for the devs in the games mentioned here, and hopefully we can get those answered for you guys. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.